I do feel like this is a war. I know a lot of people probably don't want to conceptualize life as a war. It's an internal battle between good and evil. And I know that's oversimplifying things, but I still nonetheless feel like it's the correct way to look at it. Remember who said it? I'm going to mess up the quote, but it's something about, the line between heaven and hell runs through every human soul. Evil is making, it's making a human determination, but we are humans. So, I think a lot of people want to get away from dualism. There's sort of this idea that we can get away from, well, there's no good or evil. It's kind of a new age concept. It's like, well, there's no good or evil. And I get what people are trying to say when they say that, but I look around at the world, man, and I say, are you sure about that? If you're trying to excise yourself from humanity and look at this from God's point of view, like, okay, yeah, maybe from that point of view, there's no good or evil, but we are people. You do have dark impulses if you're paying attention. You might not want to call things evil, but there are things that are good. It's hard to escape it. What do nightmares mean? Spirit realm trying to show us ourselves things. Yeah, I don't know the answers to a lot of this stuff. I'm not an expert on any of this stuff. I may be an expert in the chart, but what do nightmares mean? I think all dreams are trying to show us something. I think it is our mind's interactions with the Akashic records, whatever you want to call it. In Frank Herbert's Dune series, they talk about it as other memory. Nightmares and dreams are messages from the deep. That's what the new Dune movie says, and I really believe that. And I do think that your mind tries to work trauma. Everybody knows what a post-traumatic loop looks like. And I think nightmares are sort of manifestations of post-traumatic loops trying to reconcile themselves into your past and become a lesson that you remember rather than a reality that you're always experiencing, So I think anytime you're having, you have like a really intense nightmare, you're trying to work something out. And sometimes nightmares are just weird. Life is traumatic. I had a dream the other night. I'm somewhere with my wife and kids. We're in a bus. I don't know why, but I just feel like we were in China. I have no idea why. I'm in this bus, and suddenly the bridge collapses into a river, and the bus floods with water, and I wake up. And you could say, well, what's the point of that? And it's like, well, life is stressful, man. I feel like sometimes you need to just experience the stress of life through a fictional scenario like that. And you could say, well, dreams are messages from the deep. And it's like, yeah, life is dangerous. And get used to that feeling. Don't be afraid of living because these terrible things are could happen at any moment, and you need to be acclimated. And I feel like sometimes dreams are just trying to shake us out of complacency to kind of be a little more grateful. I feel like gratitude for life is something that I know when I was depressed and anxious all the time, I really had zero gratitude. And I think when you realize you have a dream like that where you and your wife and kids have just died in a bus accident, you wake up with a lot of gratitude. Like, oh my God, that was just a dream. Don't forget to feel gratitude, that it is a blessing to be alive. Sometimes I think just the act of trying to decipher a dream can be very useful. You have a dream that doesn't seem to make sense. And I do feel like sometimes just sitting with the dream and trying to analyze it for meaning can be a really useful concept, because it's very similar, I think, to what's happening with tarot cards, to prompt people's natural ability to make connections and to drive a narrative. And I feel like dreams are like a custom-made tarot card for whatever you might be going through. I feel like sometimes dreams are very personal, and sometimes it's more like, no, this is just a dream, a type of dream that human beings have. This is just a quality of being human. There are a number of dreams that there's like dream archetypes, like there's the flying dream, and then there's the dream of being underwater, or the anxiety dream where you're in maybe a threatening situation, or you're being chased by an animal, or, there's a lot of these archetypal dreams that I think are just like, no, that's just part of what it means to be a person. And that, we got apparently millions and millions of years of ancestors being eaten by lions and running from predators, and, all of that stuff is in our DNA. It's in our bones, and it's in our collective unconscious, however you want to think about it. So if dreams are messages from the deep, sometimes they're a message to your animal self, and sometimes it's a message for your more spiritual self.